Hello, welcome back to Funtime Crafts 24/7. This is a Let's Make video, and what we're making today is we are going to make a mini Christmas pocket album. This is really fun. It's a great size. It's 4.5 by 6.5, has a 2-inch spine, a side ribbon closure, put a little dangle off of it, and beautiful Christmas themed. It's made using the We Are Makers pocket punch board. This is a really fun, easy to use tool, and that's what we're going to use to make the album today. It has 6 pocket pages on the inside. Wait for it. What? Oh yeah, 2 of them are a flap envelope that are made out of vellum. How fun is that? And then 4 of the pages are notched pockets that have a photo mat, a 4x6 photo mat. You could put a picture on both sides and decorate it up on the front. Like super, super great. Everybody's included in this. Everybody was invited to the party, so there's no, it's not all one vendor. It's everybody. I've got, yeah, there's a little bit of everybody in this. And, but it was super fun. I just went through all my stamps and dies and decided papers and decided to pull out what might work in it, and then piled them all up and poured through them as I was making it, and had tons of fun deciding what to embellish everything with. And it was great. And I have to say that the Anna Griffin Christmas stickers, though, really helped to take the pressure out of decorating the pages. It just made it really easy. So, yeah, I thought this just came out super cute. Really fun. And then, yeah, and its base is so simple. The hardest thing is definitely embellishing it, putting together, all the decorations on each page, but the actual construction of the album, really easy. So that's what we're making today. So we ought to jump in and get started. We're going to make a version of this one. We're not making this one exactly. This next one, I want it to be, all notched pages, like I was saying. And so I have the Anna Griffin Christmas cardstock. It's the 300 super thick GSM paper. I have 6 pages, scrapbook pages of single-sided paper. Since we're doing notched pockets, they don't have to be double-sided because you're not going to see the inside necessarily. And so I have, these are out of an Anna Griffin Christmas paper pad. And I'm not sure which ones, but these are the 6 that we're going to use for our pockets. Super fun there. And then I am on this one. John had a really good idea. He said you should do an Advent pocket album to where you take pictures every day all the way up till Christmas, and you pop a picture in it every day. And I thought, oh my goodness, that would actually work out really cool. Because if you look at the construction of the album, technically, each page has a spot for 4 photos. So, like, you could put a photo on the front, you could put a photo on the back, and then the photo mat has 2 photos. So, if we do all notched pockets, you end up then with 24 spots for photos. And he was like, you could do that, and then you could really think about and enjoy the season of the holidays. And I thought, what a great idea. And he said, if you make it, we could do it. And so I'm going to make it, and we're going to do that. We're going to enjoy. I'm going to look forward to December and every day of it, and enjoy the whole holiday season. And then I'll have a spot to put all those fun photos. We have a couple of Instaprints. And so you just Bluetooth connect to them. They print out a 4x6 or whatever size photo you want. A lot of them have adhesive, but since it's my album, I can use score tape or whatever to pop the pictures in really quick, glue, whatever the case may be. I could pop them in really quickly. And then by the time Christmas rolls around, your album is filled. And how much fun would that be, right? I thought, though, on the Advent one, though, I'm going to start here, which this will be my page 1, and then we'll have 2 through 5 on this one, and so forth. And then that way, when I get to the last page on the back, I'll actually have a double spread for Christmas Day. And I thought that would be super fun. I'd have 1 to 25. And then I can also add a couple pictures from Christmas in there, which, right? Won't that be so stinking fun? And thus the reason for all the notched pocket pages. I thought that would be super, super fun. So yeah, let's get started. That's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make that. And so with that too, I'm also gonna make it easy. Um, when I decorate it, I'm just gonna do frames. So I've actually pulled out so far. I have a Hero Arts that I'm gonna decorate the front cover with. That is Happy Holidays, and I love the sentiments that cut out all together. You don't have to worry about any fiddly parts. They're all one piece, and so they make adhering really easy. The other thing I have is I have the Stamps of Life. Oh boy, I didn't even remember to get these are the deckled edge frame dies, and I'm gonna try to utilize these because I want to really get good photos in there since John, wants to go ahead and really, you know, invest, in the season, in the holiday spirit of things. I really want to have a nice spot for pictures. So rather than having to, like these are fun, right? That's just fun, right? But this is very small. Like I was like, you're looking at an entry hall and then your family photos there, right? How cute would that be? Or like this is actually really good. These are actually kind of small, but they're still, it's like ornaments hanging and there's pictures in those. I thought like that would be really cool. The same with this. But it's just small, So I want to invest in larger spaces for putting pictures. And so that's what we're going to use, like layering frames, not just these, but frames like this to where you really get the whole space and there's not too other much decorations. But because we're doing 3x5 and we're putting that onto a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 inch pocket, it allows you for captions and decorating around the edge, which I thought would be really cool, especially if we're going to use stickers and things to make it go quick and easy. I thought that would be really cool. So yeah, I've got this started. That's all I've got picked out so far. But I thought that, hey, that's a good jumping off point, right? And so to get started with the actual album, though, here I'm blabbing so much. You need 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 8.5, and so that's what we're gonna cut these to. Heavy cardstock there again. Hopefully, I said that in this version. I started this video like 5 times already. I'm just like, I get tongue tied and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I was putting the rest of that album together this morning and it was so stinking fun, but I started really early. And generally by the time the afternoon rolls around, so what do we say? We said 4.5 by 8.5. Gives us a 2-inch spine. Yeah. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8.5 by 4.5. Oh, that's 4 1/4. Whew, good job, guys. Way to notice. 4.5. 8.5. Yep. By 4.5. Okay. Four and a half by 8.5. And then you'll need your scoreboard. You'll need your little scoreboard. And on each of these covers, you're going to want to score at 2 inches. And if you're directional, you want to be mindful if your paper is directional. This isn't really directional. You could go frontwards, backwards, whatever with this. So that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So it's not going to matter with this. How is there? I like it like this. So I'm going to score mine here. So score this on 2. Did I do that? Yeah, that looks good. Because that's the back. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, and now the only other thing with this is, with the back one, this one's going to go over the top. The front's going to go over the top. So with the back one, on the 2-inch spine, I want to trim it off just a hair. And the reason we're doing that is to make it easier to put the 2 pieces together. So just a skosh, like microscopic amount. Like the amount of what a score line would be. You don't need very much at all. And then now when these get to be glued together, it will fit really nice. It won't stick out. It just really nicely snuggles up together. Really good. Like so. And so we're going to put those two together. And then the other thing you need too is you need a piece that is 4 1/4, or no, 4 1/8 by 4 3/4. So, I don't think any of these I could have used. Any of these 4 1/4? No. 4 1/4? No. What about you? No. You? No. None of them. Okay, so I still need one more piece. I didn't even think about that. That is, and I like it to match just because it blends in. So you need a piece for the spine for your pages that is 4 1/8, 4 1/8, 4 1/8, 4 1/8, 4 1/8 by 4 3/4. What did I say that was? Yeah, by 4 3/4. And this is going to be the piece that does your the tabs for your spine. Okay, now what you need is we need to cut. Okay, so we're gonna get our little punch board out, and on the back of here there's an envelope, and in the envelope is this little punch guide, your pocket punch guide. We're doing all 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 notched envelopes, and so or notched pockets. So up here it says pocket size, guide label, paper size for the flap, and then paper size for the notch. So we're going to go all the way to the right, and we're going to get 6 pieces that are 9 by 7 1/4. And then we're going to put our guides on F and 3, which mine are already there from the last time. So F and 3, and then 9 by 7 1/4. Is that what we said? 9 by 7 1/4. There we go. And now we've got those 9 by 7 1/4. So this one doesn't matter. Oh, but we need the leg. And I guess you could have gotten these out of a sheet of paper, 9 by 7 1/4. So you don't have to use scrapbook paper. 7 1/4 by 9. So I'm going to make 6 pieces just like this. I'll be right back. Okay, I was going to let you know too, if you have a paper that's directional like this, you want your length, or the longest number, so mine's 9, to be how you're looking at it, because that's the side that gets the 2 longest score lines on it that make your envelope, so you'll be looking at it upright. So the longest number is where you want to cut, that is looking at you, like this. So since it's 9 by 7 1/4, I'm going to cut this toward the pattern's right side up at 9. And then do my 7 1/4. Like that. And then, boom. Okay, I got one more. Okay, so once you get all those cut, you're going to want to start making your pockets now. So you open, when you get your punch board, you open up the 2 legs, like this. Make sure your guides are appropriately spaced where they're at. So this one was 3 on the top for the number, and it was F on the left for the letter guide. So F and 3 on that one. Take out your scoring tool because you'll need that. And then you're just going to lift up the arm there. And you're going to put the longest number towards the top. Like so. And just kind of push it up diagonally in between the two guides. And then fold down the arm. And then cut your corner tab off. Like so. And then what you're going to want to do is lift the arm. Flip it horizontally. Push it up into the corner. You know, kind of at a diagonal. To where it's on these securely. Fold the arm down. Cut your other tab off. Now, since we're making a notched pocket, we only have to cut one side. So now all we have to do is score. The thing about these notched pockets is that, there's a scoring line up here, and then there's this scoring line here. Oh, there we go. The thing is, you'll want to remember that when you're doing the vertical score line, you don't want to go all the way to the end of the arm because you'll rip the paper, and then you don't need to go all the way to the end. And when you flip it, there's no way to tell, like, where you're going to go. So just score it up about 2/3 of the way up the arm and make sure just not to go off the edge. And then what you want to do is you want to flip it and then score the other vertical line. This line is for the sides of the pocket. And then what you want to do is, and I got a little, but good thing the paper is busy. So then all you're going to do is you're going to fold this over, and you want to match these two edges up, like so. And then burnish your fold down like that. Preferably if they're matching at the top. But that's okay. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Same with this side. Fold your two sides in. Make sure this one matches at the top. Like that. Oh, that came out a little better. Like that. See, it's supposed to go like this. And then fold the bottom flap up like that. And bada bing, a bada boom. And now I'm going to secure these with glue because I don't want to dig out my score tape. And you're just going to pop glue on the, oops, it's got a little clog in the wheel of progress there. You're just going to pop glue on the very edge here. Honestly, I would have probably done on that one, but that's okay. Press these down. Score tape's quicker, but I don't want to dig it out, so glue will work perfectly fine. Okay, and then the fun thing on this one, to get the notch, you turn your punch board around, and whatever the letter guide was that you used down here, that's the same that you're going to use up here. There's lines on each side with letters, A to F, and since we used F, we're going to center it up in between the two Fs, and then that'll give us, that'll do the notching for us. So like that, and then this button, wait for it, this button here creates the notch. What? Isn't that great? That looks pretty good, right? And now the only other thing you want to do with your pockets is, in order to make them a pocket page, you have to trim off the bottom, like, fold line. That's all you're doing. You're just going to barely, microscopically trim off the fold. Like, barely any. Like that. Oh, that was too much. You didn't even need to do that. But it's going to create an opening, but you'll still get the feel of the pocket, like the design. That'll be, like, really fun. But that's what it hooks to the tab right there. And that's what creates the page. Isn't that going to be great? That is pretty fun. Okay, so let's make one more, and then I'll make the other ones off camera. So now, here we go. Flip this back around. Open the arm. See, now this is the directional one. So this is the directional one. So when you're doing a notched one, you want to turn it over like this to where you're looking at the pattern upside down. Because this is the bottom of the envelope. And so, turn it upside down, put the longest number towards the top, towards the number. Push it up towards your two guides at a diagonal. And then take your little cutting tool and notch the corner. You're going to open the arm, flip it horizontally, push it up into the corner at a diagonal to make sure it's secure, and then cut the other tab off. Cut the other side off. And now you want to go ahead and score. So score the bottom tab, score the side one. Let's see if we can get it to where we don't. But don't go all the way to the end so you don't put a hole in the paper. Then flip it horizontally and score the other side. Not to the end. Don't rip it. And then, okay, now make sure these get lined up at the top. Like that. Yeah, that looks good. Same with this one. Line it up at the top. Burnish it down and then do the bottom. Like so. Like this one came out nicer. The other one was a little janky. Right? Isn't that great? And you could go either way on this. But let's just put some glue on the edge. And push that down. Burnish the glue into the paper. Like so. Pop some glue on the bottom tab. Push that up. Burnish the glue into the paper. Oh, look, a pocket. It's like you don't have to put the notch in. You could just use it like this. But I like the notch, so I put the notch in them. So line it up between your two guides. Punch your notch. Boom, right? That looks pretty good. Oh, and there. See, the pattern's up right. And now trim off the very bottom microscopic edge. Teeny tiny, tiny. Not too much. We cut too much off before. Not too much. Barely. Teeny. Hiya. There we go. You could even get away with a tiny bit more than or less than that. But there we are. Right? That looks pretty good. So let me make the other four and I'll be right back. Okay, we've got all of our pockets now. Look at. Aren't these great? So cut the bottoms off. They look like that. They all got notches. So I'm going to do mine like this. So it'll be like this. Like, right? Isn't that going to be great? That is going to be so nice. Like that. I'm loving that. And then let's go ahead and put our album cover together. And so I'm going to there again use glue. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and use the square tape I do have. Where are you guys? Go ahead and use the square tape I do have. So I'm going to pop it on the 2 inches, the one that goes over. And this is the top. And then that way it'll stick right now. And then it can be adhering while we're doing the spine piece. So you're just going to remove the backers. Make sure that you keep the tape, your score tape on top of this glue spine, the glue tab here. I'm popping glue so that way it lives here forever and ever. And then I'm going to line this one up on the back next to that score line there. I'm going to line it up top and bottom. I'm going to make sure it's nice and even top and bottom. And then line it up with that score line. And then if it looks good, burnish the heck out of it. Go ahead and let it be permanent. Oh, yeah. It is going to live there forever and ever and ever. And then look at that. And it's nice and sturdy, too. Like, this is super stout paper. Yeah, that is nice. So like that, that's how that's going to be like that. And see, I like the top to go over so it's a nice smooth edge versus this where you see the paper. a connection, you don't see that because it's on the bottom, right? And so, yeah, and then that's with the spine, right? That looks pretty good, right? And that's going to be super fun. Oh, and now look. And then these are going to be in here like this. And then, right, you're going to open it up. It's going to have all these fun papers. Like, that is awesome. I guess you could have done double-sided and you would have seen the inside a little bit. But I don't think that's that big of a deal like that. And then we end with this beautiful green one. Right? Isn't that great? Okay, so let's get the spine piece made. And now the spine is so simple. This is that 4 1/8 tall by 4 3/4 wide. And on the 4 3/4, you're going to score at every 1/4 inch. So I'm going to, every single one, every 1/4. So 1/4, half, 3/4, 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2 inches, and so forth. And then all you're going to do is mountain valley fold this, and you're going to end up with the space in between each mountain, so you have room for your pages. And it is that simple. And there we go. Okay, so this is what you have here. And so the first one goes down. And then this is your glue tab. That's a glue tab, right? Oh, no, so it doesn't go down. It goes up. Whoops, sorry. Because we got to make a mountain for the tab. For our page. So, actually, it goes up. Sorry, guys. But it's nice if you work them anyhow. And so then the next one. So the first one goes up. This goes up. The next one goes down. And be sure to score them really nice and tight. So you can see them. And they'll want to help you bend in the direction they should go. And so then the next one is up. And then once I get a mountain finished, I'm going to make sure it's in my mind like how I think it should be. So it was up, down, up, and then you get a page tab. That's a page tab. So this is a glue tab. This is a page tab. The mountain is a page tab. And then you have another flat one. That's a glue tab. And so then the next one is up. Like that. And up. And then the next one after that is down. For another page. And then down and then up. Up again. And then we'll have one more page tab. So you'll have a flat page tab, a flat, a page tab, and then another flat. So then after that, the next one goes up. Let's see. I'm going to get that one in the proper spot, right? It goes up. And then the next one after that goes down. And then up. And we've got another page tab. And I always do it to make sure that I always test each one to make sure it's looking how I think it should be. So there we go. A page tab, a glue spot, a page tab, a glue spot, a page tab, a glue spot, a page tab, and then a glue spot. Or a glue tab. And so I'm going to keep doing this all the way to the end, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you get that done, this is what you should have. So you should start with the glue tab and end with the glue tab. And you should have 6 mountains in between. And those are your page tabs. And that's what that looks like. So now you're going to flip it over. And then in all the valleys, which were your mountains, in there, you're going to put score tape and adhesive in each one of those. And then you're going to glue them together and burnish the heck out of them. Because you want these to live together forever and ever. So I'm going to do one at a time. And, oh, whoops. Knocked my jar over. Like that. And then I'm going to push these two together. like this. And I am going to burnish the heck out of them. Oh, make sure to get all your glue. Yeah, burnish them down really good. Burnish it down really good. Like so. Okay, now make sure you don't have glue where you don't want it. And then you've got a permanent glue tab. Look at that. That's what you should have, like that. Isn't that great? That is great. And so we're doing that with all 6 of those tabs. Those page tabs. So let's do the next one. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the score tape in all of them to make it easier. It seems like it should be easier. Whoa, 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 settle down. Alright, got that. Burnish those in a little. Make sure we got our little mountain tab so we know where to put all our glue. And so we don't get lost. Okay, so then the next one, you're going to pull that. You're going to pop glue there so it will be there permanent forever and ever. And then you're going to fold it over and burnish the heck out of it. There we go. When you get towards the end of these, they get a little bit, it gets a little bit curly. Once you get down to the end of putting all these, gluing all these page tabs together. There we go. Okay, so that's 2, and that's what that looks like. And so now we're on the 3rd one there. And now we'll fold that over, and then we will burnish the heck out of it. And making sure that it's going to live there forever and ever. Yeah, you don't want to go to all the work and then they pop off, right? Okay, and we've got 3. Okay, so I'll do these 3 off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you get that done, this is what it should look like that. I will say that when you're putting these together, when you're gluing them together, you want to give it just a second. Otherwise they'll have a tendency to want to come apart. And obviously you don't want that. And so the other thing I did was I put scored tape on both sides of all those page tabs. Because right now it's way easier to do that. And then it's easier to do it before you glue it into the book. And so I have score tape on 1/8 inch. It's 1/8 inch score tape on each side of those tabs. See, Sukwang there. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to put a score tape and glue on the back side of this, and we're going to adhere this. But let's actually test fit it. It's going to go in here, and you're going to line it up in between your 2 score lines, the 2 score lines, and then top and bottom as well. Because this is what your pages are adhering to. And so just kind of get an idea of where it's going to live. And then once you get that, put score tape on the back. And score tape is so it adheres right now. And then glue is so it's forever. And then you'll need your bone folder too, so that way it will, you can burnish it down. So then peel the backers off. Because we're going to burnish in between each of the pages on the little glue tabs. And so now we're going to put glue on this. Here. And now we're going to line up in the middle. I was like, I almost couldn't tell where I was putting it. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Press it down. Hold it for just a little. Oh, actually, make sure it's in. Yep, we're in. Okay. And then burnish. Start with the outside tabs. If you wanna. Burnishing those down. And then I take and I press the center too. And if you hold your bone folder at an angle, it will do like the whole width. And on each of those glue tabs, I try to do that. I try to burnish it down. And then now too is where you want to decide. I've been decorating my pages in the book, but it would actually be easier if you decorated the pages like right now before you put them in. But totally up to you. I get so excited. I like to see what the book's gonna look like. And so, I like to see what the book's gonna look like. So I always like put the pages in, and then I'm like decorating, and they're like, I usually prop up a folder underneath it so I can press down and all that kind of stuff when I'm trying to decorate the page. But honestly, right now, when they're flat, as long as you don't go off the edge, and you know that your variance for the top and the bottom is literally like 1/8 of an inch. Like, you don't have any more than that when room other on the top and the bottom, nor even out the end hardly. Because it'll be about like that. But you're also, for your photo mats, you're gonna have a little tab too that like kind of goes to the edge of that. So like on my other one. So up to you what you want to do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and adhere the pages in. So that way you guys can see what the book looks like. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull the score tape from the front and the back of the tab. Oops. Come on, little buddy. There we go. And then you can put glue on them if you want. Totally up to you. On both sides. It's up to you. And then you're just gonna squeeze the envelope like that. I always put the flat side, like the folded side, to the back. So this is like the first side you're looking at. And then squeeze it just a tad so it opens it. And then you're gonna center it over that page tab. Just squeeze it a little like that. It's just gonna fit over like that. Make sure to push it all the way down. And then you're gonna center up the envelope on the page tab in the middle of the book. And then once you're happy, just squeeze it. Press on both sides. And that's why it's score tape too. And then what you want to do is you want to take your bone folder and go ahead and just run it across the front of the pocket. Like that. And that's your first one. That's your first page. Isn't that great? Okay, so now, see what I mean though? Like, it would be so much easier if you decorate them out. Like, you're gonna have to, like, the pages, you're gonna have to, like, yeah. But I've been decorating them like that. So it's totally up to you. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, and they fit in here so perfect too. These are pretty stiff. I think I'll be fine. So remember to get the backer off both sides of the tab. And then you can put a little glue on if you want, if you remember to. And then squeeze the envelope. Make sure you're forward or whatever direction you want. And then slide up over like that. And then make sure you're even in the book. And then press on both sides. And then use your bone folder on the front and the back. Don't forget the back. And the front. And you got 2. Okay, so let me finish adhering all these and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I got all the pockets attached, I've gone and cut all the mats, and I just used the alternative, or the piece that was left over from each of these pieces. I cut down photo mat that was 4x6. They're single-sided, but I thought, well, I could journal on the back or actually legitimately put a full-size 4x6 photo on this side. And then I could put a 3x5 on this one and have this all decorated up, which I thought would be really cool. Because, you know, sometimes you want to see the entire picture. Well, at least my husband is like, John wants to see the full photo. He doesn't want it to be cropped. He wants the whole thing. So I figured that would be a happy medium there. I could put the whole photo on there. And then for the little pull tabs for these photo mats, I used the Anna Griffin Paper Tricks Rosette 1 cut and embossing folder, this small one, and just cut a 2x4 piece of gold matte foil to go there, and then it cuts out 2 at a time, so you get the front and the back of each of them. So I thought that was like pretty good. And so all I'm doing is all the photo mats are in the pockets, and so the next one is a round one, and I just alternated between a round and the pretty scalloped one. And so the next one is a round, and I left the photo mat in there, and I take and I orient this how I want to see it. Smooth the edges down a little if you need to, and put glue on half. And then, like, I want this to be, you know, nice and straight, not cattywampus or anything. And then let's see, we're on the next one, and then I just line it up in the center of the notch. Wait, press it down. Gotta hold it for a second. It's not instant glue. It's just quick holding glue. There we go. Make sure it's straight and it lines up pretty good with the hole. Press it down. Let it adhere for a second, and then I flip it over and where are you guys? Flip it over and oh my. And then adhere the other one to it on the back. Make sure this one's straight as well. You know, nice and looks good. That one's a little off, but I'll just use tilt my head a little to make it look straight. It'll be fine. Alright, you guys squint. It looks straight that way. Okay, and there we go. And so then I'll just put this one on. I'll be right back. Okay, there they are. And I think that makes really fun little pull tabs. So I just look and see what I can use in my stash that would make a fun little thing to, that would be super pretty to be on the edge of a sheet of paper, or, you know, on the edge of something that I could multi-purpose as a pull tab. And I thought, you know, that's a great use of the middle of a rosette, you know. And then, yeah, so now what we want to do is, now that we have our photo mats in there, we can go ahead and, you want to put the photo mats in, because you're, depending on where your pull tabs end up, if you put pull tabs on the end, you want to be able to tie over them. So, well, I guess I go pretty big too, but then also lining it up as well, so they're over and it holds everything in. I guess that actually doesn't matter. You don't actually have to have these on in order to do that. I don't know. I was thinking about stuff upside down, I guess. But we want to go ahead and put our ribbon closure on before we decorate the front of it. And I think I'm going to go with a nice piece of easy to tie ribbon this time. Because the last one I used... Oh, well... Let's actually think about this. I'm gonna... It doesn't have to be... I guess we could adhere it. Let's see. I'm gonna just measure it out what looks good. This isn't an exact science by any means. It's just eyeballing and okay, that looks... I think I could tie a bow with that. Yeah. unit of measure is, I think I can tie a bow with that. Okay, and that looks pretty good. That looks nice and even and straight to me. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than put adhesive on the spine, I think I'm going to, since I know I'm going to put a deckled, I know I'm putting Happy Holidays with a deckled frame on the top, something to go over it. This is the largest decal frame in the Stamps of Life decal frames, and I'm gonna put adhesive right here under this so you can't see it, and I'm just gonna use score tape. And this I'll just put it the length of the deckled. So let's see. This is going to go about here. So I'm just squaring up the deckled edge. And then going to pop this in the center, because you're not going to see any of this. And then pop that on. Okay, and now I'm just going to make sure I'm even Steven. And then just pop that in the center like that. And then now I have to figure out how I'm actually going to adhere this to the back, because you can't, I don't think you can have that. Well, you don't see it though, do you? And don't look, because it's crooked. But that's okay. But you actually don't see the adhesive too much, and it's not sticky. So I think if I use my straighter eye on the back here, I think I can. You guys adhere your ribbon how you like to, because this is obviously not a professional job here. This is a crafty job. I don't know. I need to figure out. Maybe I could, maybe I could actually just put a piece in the center and put like a medallion or something on the back of that. What if we actually, let's think about what we could actually put as a decoration on the back. And this is just 1/4 inch. That's just 1/4 inch is all that is. I think that looks pretty straight, I think. Oops. Hey, I think we did it. I think that looks pretty good. And then what we'll do is we'll figure out something fun to put in the center there. And maybe another like gold medallion, or I don't know. But I think for my money, I'm going to need to this is driving me crazy. Ooh, that's not straight at all. Well, I wonder if I could hide it with a deckled edge. Let's see if we can hide it with the frame, huh? Boy, I did a botched job there. Ooh, got a shoddy construction company doing the work here. Ooh. Someone's gonna need to file a suit, I think. Call Santa. Get those cleanup elves on aisle 3. Okay, let me get some deckled edge. I was gonna go glitter and gold anyways. I'm gonna go a piece of gold, and then no, wait, what was I gonna do here? I wanted this to be in red, so it's gonna be on gold, so it's gonna be, yeah, so this is gonna be glitter red, gold, glitter red. So hang on, and I'm gonna use the diamond press stuff, so hold on. Okay, so this is the Stamps of Life deckled edge, the largest one, and then the second one, and this is that diamond press adhesive backed glitter and foil paper that we're going to use there. I'm going to burnish that down. I'm not going to I just want to make sure that it's going to be what I think it's going to be. Like so. And then I cut that Hero Arts Happy Holidays out and more of that glitter. And so I was just going to peel this off and hope for the best. And I know I'm going to have to pop out all the little doodads out of all the letters. But see how this is like all together? Like, they do that. Stamps of Life does it too. Stephanie, most of her sentiments, she hates having to do the fiddly stuff. And so most of her sentiments are all together like this too. And she's got some beautiful ones as well. I love it where you can cut them all out together like this. And this glitter paper, oh my goodness, this Diamond Press glitter paper is so pretty. It is really pretty. And I'm just going to have to go for it because there was no way to... Oh, look how pretty. There was no way to just like test it to see if it was going to be cool. But I mean, it's glitter. It's Christmas. It's the holidays. Like, you might as well glam it up, right? Okay, I'm just trying to lightly to see if that's where it should live. And that seems like... right? Isn't that great? That is pretty good. Okay, now we're going to burnish the heck out of this. So I think I'm going to open it and then put it up here. So it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be completely flat. And then what I can do too is I can get a piece of scratch paper here and put it over the top and help burnish it that way as well. Just like a couple sheets like this. And then I could take my bone folder like so. I'm not sure where that sentiment goes. I don't want to go off the edge. I guess this would be like it's on the table. There. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, that is lovely, right? That is holiday magic if I've seen it before. Wow. That is pretty fun, isn't it? Oh my. Happy holidays. That's pretty good. Loving that. Okay, now we need a little other embellishments to go with that. So I think I'll grab some stickers. And some Anna Griffin stickers, because those make everything easy. And see what we can pop on there. Gonna need something small, I guess. Well, I've got some poinsettia stickers. Oh, those are fun. Maybe a little, let's see. Here, maybe, oh, that's actually really pretty right there. And I could trim that out just a tad. You can still see it says Happy Holidays. We can trim some of that off. Let's see, we want to go about there. What are we kind of thinking here? Maybe there. I think there would be great. You can still see it says Happy Holidays. It's a little bit off there. Let's see. Maybe we just want some holly. Maybe this is not that great. Hang on. Let me see. Let's see if we can just get away with maybe some holly or something. Actually, hold on. Let me find some stuff. Okay, so I found this. I got this out of the Anna Griffin poinsettia stickers. Perfect poinsettia. The perfect poinsettia stickers, this one here. And I just trimmed off a little bit of it so it would fit nicer. And then I have a jumbled box of stickers for Christmas that are Anna Griffin, but they're every collection under the sun. I think these are from the Holly, though. There were a couple Holly sets, and I think that's where this one's from. And I think these are going to be pretty darn fun to have on here. And I think we're just going to do just like that. And, like, rate how fun is that? And that is the cover of the book. Like, isn't that pretty stinking fun? That's pretty fantastic. Now, if you want... Oh, that's right. We were going to try to find something for the back. I forgot. To kind of cover this ribbon up because it's sheer. But you honestly can't even see it. So, I'm not even sure if I should even worry about it. It just would be fun to have something on the back, huh? Yeah, it just would be fun to have something on the back. Oh, yeah, that's down a little. Yeah, there we go. So there it is there. And then we want to go ahead and I think we'll pop a little, I'll show you how to do this. So you're going to grab your crocodile. So that's going to be the cover of the book there. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to like find something for the back or not because that actually looks pretty good. And you can't even see the tape. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. The only other thing I like to do is I do like to add the dangle on the spine of it. And so how you do that is you take a hole punch. I use my We Are Memory Keeper or We Are Maker Crocodile and open it up to the middle page like this. And then I center this up. And then I just go in just a hair from the edge. Like that. And then I grab a eyelet. Then I just grab one of these little eyelet brads here, these little eyelets. And since it's Christmas, we're going to go gold. I guess gold doesn't have to be, but this album has gold in it, so pop it in there. Do like a so. And then I'm just going to lightly press it. And then boom. We have a little eyelet. And then once you, it does kind of dent it a little. But once you hang the little, dangle off the spine, you don't even notice it. Because the other one has that as well. But you don't, like, you just glance over it. You don't even notice the fact that it actually has. See, it has a little dimple, but you overlook it because the dangle is so pretty. Your eye is drawn to all that bling. You don't really notice the two indentions until I'm like, hey, look, there's indentions. But, oh my gosh, right? Are those, like, so fun or what? That's pretty fun. That is so blingy. Kind of wish I would have used matte instead of that super shiny, but it is what it is. Let me grab some stuff for a dangle and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. There's a little charm for the edge. Just have it on a little lobster clasp there with the jump ring. And then this is just a little charm that I got from Joann's when they were still in business. And then connected with another jump ring. And then this bead is on an eye pin that I looped at the top and added a couple of gold smaller beads. And then this bow is on a head pin that is then topped with a crystal bead on either side of it and then a gold one on top of that. And the reason I did that was so that way I could get a loop on the top and then this could spin freely. Otherwise, these gems and that bottom head pin was going to impede. It would look funky. And so this made it to where it will actually spin and look, really fun and nice. So, yeah, and that's it. That's the basic construction of that book there. And I want to use this album, so I don't want to rush through it, and there would be another hour or two having fun decorating up all these pages. So I'm going to do that on my own. I just wanted to show you the basic construction of it, decorate a little bit, and then I'm going to do this as I get time here and there. We've got lots of projects and whatnot. It'll be on hold for a little bit because this weekend we were supposed to get a shipment in, and it ended up not coming in, so I was able to play. And then between that and the torrential downpour, it was fun. I had actually a couple days in here having fun and crafting and stuff, which wasn't on the to-do list, but it worked out good for me in here. So, but Monday starts back to the work week, and so gonna go back on that and won't be back in here for a little bit, but I am gonna, when I get 5 minutes here and there in the evenings or whatnot, put together each of the pages. And honestly, that's what you can do. Like when you get these projects that seem a little bit larger, maybe a little bit more overwhelming, just take like a few minutes here and like pick out here and there, and pick out all the papers, like the cover pages, and then what you want to use for each pocket. And then make all the pockets, put the cover together, put the spine piece together. And that's like picking the papers is like one 5-minute little project you can do in an evening. Then putting the pocket together is like another 5 minute. And then another day you put the cover together. And then you just decorate the front of each, the cover one day, a pocket one day. And you don't even have to do the whole thing. Just kind of lay some things out, see how you like it, and take your time and enjoy the process versus just rushing through it. And I don't want to rush through this one because I'm definitely going to use it, because I think the Advent idea is like super fun. And John wants to have fun with that and really hone in on the holiday season and take pictures every day. I mean, good night. If you're a morning person or an evening person, you could do like 24 days of sunsets or sunrises, 24, mornings on your front porch having coffee, or whatnot. And 24 days of different birds you've seen. It doesn't necessarily have to be holiday related per se. You could just have some fun with it, get out and enjoy each moment. It's just about enjoying the moment, taking time to pause and, recognize a moment in a day and enjoy it, because you don't want to just be working 24/7 and never take time to pause. And why are you doing all the work, right? At some point, you need to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? So there is that. And so I think we're going to try to do that each day during the Christmas holiday season, and do 24 days of Christmas. So as soon as I get the album finished for us to start putting photos in, I'll come back and do a little flip through with you and show you what we ended up coming up with. Or it might even be after the first of the year. I don't know. Maybe I decorate it as I go. Maybe when I go to put the photo in, I decorate the page. I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll have it done. I can just put the photo in, and then I have by the end of, by the time we get to Christmas Day, I have a whole album full, and I just pop my 2 Christmas pictures in, and I think that would be the funnest. So I probably will come back with the flip through. But anyhow, there it is there. I sure hope you enjoyed the process here of putting the little pocket album together, and the little example there, just for some fun ideas and inspiration. And hopefully you guys are having a terrific summer. And until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.